afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off it to a 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. In the north it is Forest, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 6th Armored Division with infantry, mechanized and heavy cavalry, featuring triple infantry from the south. It is Expensive Runner, fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the, let's just go with 352nd Volks going to be shown with Osttruppen, featuring Osttruppen, entrenching tools, artillery field officers, supply drops, and railway artillery support with double infantry, Panzerfaust. We got double rifle there for Forest, MG42 Pioneers, and worth noting the infantry company for Expensive Runner. So it's clearly not just going to rely on the Osttruppen and a fast tech. Might be seeing a sniper and then mix up with Osttruppen. An interesting bold opening there by Expensive Runner, a bit risky there since you do risk falling behind on map control. And as always, please comment, like, share, subscribe, and press that bell button so to help me out a ton there in the eternal fight against everything that isn't a Propagandacast. And of course, a very big thanks to the Patreon supporters who keep backing me and allow me to keep doing what I do. Those are some spectacular folk there, and I thank you very much from the very bottom of my heart. You too that aren't Patreon supporters can join the ranks too by pledging on Patreon. You can just donate. Links in the video description. Anyways, back in action. Not that there's much action here. We got right from the east. We got troops from the west to the Riesons. We've got Riflemen up there to link in some territory there as well. Meanwhile, Expensive Runner going hard east here. Pioneers considering sandbags, but spotting the Americans, decide not to go there. Sniper out there for Expensive Runner. And we'll then follow up with the Austrians and quickly that way get troops that way. So obviously slightly minimizing the gap that normally is with sniper builds. Since again, the downside of snipers is usually again in the early game, you basically have to save a lot of manpower, and then they have quite a build time, so they usually fall behind on map control, which is quite risky. So in this regard, Expensive Runner using the Austrian show say slightly offset that. Third route score on the way, the Forest MG42 there versus route score there. Sniper gets a good kill there. Lewis drops dead like a sack of potatoes dropped from the 5th floor. MG42 there needs to get out of there fast. Sniper gets another kill. And Johnny will not be marching home on that one. Pioneers bringing in the rifle squad down to 3 men low and help southern point makes easy, but the Osttruppen we're probably seeing at least 2 to 3 more, or 1 to 2 more Osttruppen squads here. Back here, points being seized there. Fortress having a nice time there. Back in base with Fortress, nothing further going on there, no tech as of yet. We're probably seeing that soon. Second Osttruppen squad out for Expensive Runner. We'll hopefully be committed to the third one now. Rifle squad going for the southern field. We've got the sniper there moving about. We got 2 kills so far. Keeping a safe distance. Probably worried that something might be sneaking up in their sniper and trying to kill it. We'll just rush the sniper down directly with the rifleman. Whoops. So not a bad assumption there. Osttruppen nearby pro going to support with that. Sniper there with 3 kills. Pioneer's got a few. Pioneer's defending it. Sniper gets another kill there. At the same time, you can see here, Fortress taking advantage of the heavy flying around the field to push for the cop under the machine, and it's going to be within the ballpark of stopping that. Route squad then on 2 men. Routed, does find on the fuel point neutral, so good stuff to play here by Fortress against Expensive Runner in the early game. Leaves Expensive Runner a bit awkwardly positioned. He is taking up, they're going for fast tech. Meanwhile, we got something of Fortress as well, and it is very much expected. The Lieutenant, very much the number 1 pick there for the vast majority of American players in 1v1s. They will typically almost always go for the Lieutenant and the platoon command post. Osttruppen knows Ralph Scott, of course, from no cover. The Osttruppen really can't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside. Sniper there with 7 kills, Zeven. Ralph Scott down to 2 men. Pushes off the fuel point there, but nonetheless gets it. Further slowing down the Expensive Runner, chance to get a fuel point in further line. Forwards to get ahead here of Expensive Runner. So thumbs up to Forest. Ralph Scott routed. Again, the lack of cover that really just means the Osttruppen can't hit anything. They're incredibly dependent on having any cover to be able to fight, credibly. So that's an important distinction there. Tech down there. Can't even go for fast like to make a nice company. We'll have to go for some Panzer Grenadier instead. Back here, troops sitting out. Lieutenant is almost done there for Fortress. Sniper there with 8 kills. Sandbags up there, very good. Ground the southern point here. Pioneer sitting out there. Can soon go for Panzer Grenadier. Well, I think be quite necessary here versus Fortress. As for what Fortress can choose in terms of dogs, I mean, Heavy Cavalry's been seeing, resurgence, so maybe he'll go for that. But infantry's now a bad pick. I think mechanized would have gone for that. It's actually worth noting that mechanized has definitely seen a bit of a drop there as of late. It's quite less popular than it used to. Maybe a sort of shift in meta there. And there you go, Panzer Grenadier for Expensive Runner. Sniper there gets a kill. We got 9 kills there. Almost got the eastern fuel point there, rifling up there. Lieutenant, of course, spearheading the effort there. Also with eastern fuel point. shots fired. MD42 needs to be positioned to deal with that. Sniper moving in as well. The 10 kills. Pioneers to defend the center. Pioneers what they're arriving. Osttruppen doing what they can, but may not be enough. And they're going for catching the rifle squad here, allowing the Osttruppen to deal with the lieutenant. M20 for Fortress. Bit of a special thing with Fortress. Fortress likes to rush out M20 versus the opponents, partly because they didn't expect it, but the M20 is actually quite good versus infantry. Though, of course, not quite nearly as good versus light vehicles at all, but as infantry, it's, you know, reasonably cost efficient. Plus, you can theoretically lay down mines with it. I don't think he ever does, but he could. Not like to make a nice company yet. The fixed expenditure runner versus Fortress, pushing towards the westward with another Osttruppen squad. They find him once more. The fuel point has been cut off. Meanwhile, expenditure runner, she's not going to do the same here to Fortress. This is again something that's going to think, you know, give an advantage. But there you go. That said, expenditure runner here certainly gets an opportunity to deliver some cost, and Fortress takes out the retreating route squad. They're using the incendiary explosive round, or B-Patronen, which I believe stands for Beobachtungspatronen, which means observation round. Pioneers squad to retreat bar with us coming in. About to lose the Pioneer squad. That's certainly going to help Fortress, but not expensive runners lose that there. Sniper there with 13 kills. Great scene. Got another kill there. Pioneers wiped. That's going to sack for expensive runner. I would not be surprised if we're going to be seeing a supply drop here to go for the Pack 4. The MD34 is probably just going to try and skip Tier 2 entirely and rush for Tier 3 here. Versus Fortress. From there, going 20 rushing in there, just blazing away there. Armored skirt's almost done. And there you go, we do get the supply drop, very much as expected here by expensive runner, as he doesn't really have a lot of other choices right now versus Fortress. Nothing is going to stop M20 as fast as possible, because Fortress is just going to push that M20 as hard as he can here versus expensive runner, no matter what. But there you go, Pack 4 ready already. Grab fuel, munitions outside the base, going to grab the MD34 as well, giving him another machine gun that's going to help versus all of Fortress' stuff. And again, hitting the fuel point. Just consistent, aggressive play here by Fortress versus expensive runner. And there you go, Panzerfaust off. Good hit there. Actually, it does have a Panzerfaust. But again, we're probably seeing a fast take here. We're probably seeing support armor corps being rushed out by expensive runner. Though he definitely needs to hit the fuel point, and he also needs to like try and start hitting Fortress' fuel flow as well. But while there, Sniper moving in there with MD42 and Osttruppen support. Machine guns have to cover the flank here. Sniper takes a kill, lost there. That is the lieutenant himself that drops that. Small win there for expensive runner. We got the Osttruppen up in the center. Ralph Scott going into that. Sniper moving towards the center to help deal with the assault there, I guess. Eastern fuel from there well dug in. We got the punch with the bounce from the lieutenant. 20 moving in there right in front of the Pack 40. But there you go. Makes great use of the training to avoid the Pack 40's arc of fire. Thumbs up to Fortress. Really great maneuvering, handling of the M20. Ralph Scott around with the MD42 there. Austin was the Ralph Scott there. Sniper with 15 kills there. 16 kills. He is speeding out Fortress, and Fortress is certainly shortened in some areas, but at the same time, Fortress is, in return for that really controlled map, he's actually going for a mortar to probably deal with the machine guns, but also maybe pressure the sniper or even smoke the sniper. Worth noting, no one's bothered with this point so far in the almost first 10 minutes of the match. The little point that no one really liked. Pushing back in the M20 there, Panzer for the echelons. Geballte Ladung flank for the end there go. Ostrum here, I think response is simply just the lack of map control and the fact that he just needs more infantry to help deal with that. He goes for another Ostrum squad. Probably should send that westwards. He needs something to exert pressure on the left flank. He needs to try and force Fortress to react to him. Anyone moving up for the center could make a push for the car phone there. Rearson's routed. More being forwards here by Fortress and the 6th Armored Division versus the 352nd Volksgrande Division. 7 kills on the sniper. The Scharfschütze. Still no moon towards the west here, really, by expensive runner versus Fortress. MD34 grabbing the fuel point there. Trenches considered but cancelled. No planning on the attempt there, probably was poorly positioned. We just didn't manage to see it. Ralph Scott there gets met by a hailstorm machine gun fire. There you go, M20 rushing straight through the center here. Panzerfaust could go off in the M20, and there we go. Does catch it, does double Panzerfaust it, and almost gets it, but it does barely survive that. He needs the MD34, pushing back Ralph Scott there, also moving up there. More explosion go off, the mortar fire down here on expensive runner's forces, causing quite a bit of grief there, and I think he's going to cancel the trench there, since that's obviously not going to work out in a million years. He can soon take up, but the problem is Fortress is going to be taking ahead of him. He's going to be pushing for medium armor ahead of him. So back here, nothing going, though. Could tech. I don't think should tech. He may also have to consider mortar versus Fortress's mortar. It's being suppressed. Osttruppen moving forwards here, but again without cover. They are quite ineffective infantry. And there you go. Once Wally's get the car bombs going, Other one's still... I mean, I suppose they're showing some combat spirit, but they can't get hit the broadside of a barn from the inside with a shotgun at close range. Punch moving up there, 7 kills, that's into 1. Got the mortar. If you could somehow get closer, you could actually nab it, kept Power 14 nearby. Trendy could take a bit of a nasty hit here. And again, without cover, the Osttruppen just aren't hitting anything. I'm not entirely sure why he's not trying to like find any cover for them, so there's still some here. I mean, otherwise he's just wasting the Osttruppen. There you go, Panzerfaust off again on the M20, double volley there. Gonna try and hit the Pack 4 to finish it off, but I don't think there's enough more to recruit here. Bam, and there you go, right in front of the afterthought there. MG42 suppressing, and almost got it. Shot lands right in front of the nose of the M20 and it does get away. Make out there for Fortress. Expense runners taking up there, very good. Finally, troops reinforcing healing, and again, really feel like you should be pushing up more left flank here against Fortress. Right, got express them in U42. 4 kills. Sandbags, trenches being dug here by the Eastern Victory Point. We got 472 for 40-42. 19 kills from the sniper. Austin Fun being dispatched westwards there. Can soon go for Sherman. In fact, he can go for Sherman right now. But decides not to. Or perhaps he's got things. There you go, Sherman away there. Still no sign of a doctrine from Fortress. No bigger game plan. He's also floating an absurd amount of munitions. 382. He can go for grenades, he can go for weapon racks, he can go infantry for light machine guns. That's a lot that he could really be doing with the munitions, but very crucially isn't doing with the munitions. There you go, finally got the point here. The point had been basically left alone for more or less 11 minutes. That's, I think, a bit of a record. And certainly could have been a bunch of fuel and munitions that could have helped out Expense Runner here versus 4S. I mean, that's pretty much 30 fuel he lost out there. Which again could have mean he could actually pushed out for, say, at least an Osprey. I have a Stu ready to meet the Sherman, so not too great there by Expense Runner. There you go, Panther first, Pack 40 shot there, M20 almost down again, but once more, narrowly survives. That M20 has got quite the extensive maintenance history, I imagine. Here's Grand Center, west side we got the Osttruppen up there. Osttruppen putting back into the trench, more pioneers to replace the ones he lost ages ago. Caught by a hailstorm machine gun fire here. The Rav School trying to push on the Victory Point, but they're not making much progress. Central one continues for the reactions. Western one being grabbed here by the Osttruppen. Should of course go for the fuel pond as well. Here the troops ride it. A murderous storm of lead here from the Germans. Sherman pushing ahead here for freedom, democracy up top. The Panzer Grenadier, the biggest threat obviously. Pack 40 no precision to hit. Panzer popping into the trench. Or he's trying to pop into the trench, but I guess they have to jump into it. Racing up for the center. He's worried about mines here from Expense Runner though. He's not been mining. And again, Fortress really isn't used to doing that with the niche, but there you go, quick opening the Pack 40 here, modifying the MG42, further adding pressure here to Expense Run. We got the Osprey moving in. Sherman could get Panther here, MG34 opening up on the Sherman. I guess for the hell of it. Pack crew there wiped out. Panther off though. Does damage the engine. Osprey towards the center, not going for the fuel pond there, interestingly enough. I figured he would, like, you know, try and grab it, but also more importantly, deny it to Fortress here. M20 once more dashing in. Pack 4 integrating the Sherman, but there you go, M20 with a flank here. He's going to have to deal with that fast. Could see the sniper go down finally. There you go. Can't pass off the M20. Sniper retreating. A messy situation. They got smoking off them from Fortress, realizing he dived into far mortar there with 2 kills. So Portman caught up here for Expense Running. Can actually go for the Panther 4. That's definitely going to do a lot of work here versus Fortress and help turn the round. There you go. Finally, at the 30-minute mark, almost 40-minute mark, the M20 goes down. Safe to say, Fortress got a lot of utility out of that one. Ha ha ha. I'm so surprised he didn't go for that Western fuel point though. But here we are. Troops reinforcing. So now they're with 25 kills. Pretty good kill tally so far. We're not surprised that actually concludes most of his kills. In fact, yeah, almost 50% of all his kills there. But because again, he's had a tendency to leave the Osttruppen without cover. Lieutenant Chapman, the Osttruppen North raining down as well. They need support from 5 from MD42. MD44 North Part spotting 5. But there you go, going for the Eastern Fuel and Victory Point as well here. Western Victory Point seized there by Fortress's force as well. He still hasn't chosen a doctrine though. He's still yet to make any sort of bigger plans there, decisions. Expense Runner is moments away from the Panther 4, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Deal with the Amerikaner. Pack 40 shoots, misses the Sherman. Panzer there getting basically 8 kills. Act. There we go. Expendable calling in the Panzerkampfwagenfield, workhorse of the German Panzerwaffe, most produced German tank, in fact. And might have been producing in larger numbers, if not for the weird quirk where Hitler kept trying to cancel production of the Panzer IV and ultimately creating hard caps on how many Panzer IVs could be created a month. Little fun fact there. Then, of course, they also diverted production from Panzer IVs to Stug force to make up for the fact that Stug factories got bombed. And of course, the Stug was quite crucial to the Wehrmacht. Admittedly, so was the Panzer IV. Anyways, Panzer IV almost done this. German, the Panzers, they're getting a good hit. Their squad almost taken up. Got Ralph Squad playing in the south. He needs to retreat. Those Panzers are going to do, I think, now. Possible slip there going for saving the day for the Panzers. He's got the pack coming in there. Good hit there. Could get Panzer fast loose. This German there. Might have reached here versus expense running the German army. And, oh, once more 4S turns out to have the devil's own luck. But there you go, Panzer IV moving in. Could he take out the Sherman? Could he finish off this American monstrosity of mass industry? And the pinmap machine is the Panzer IV. Smokes from down here. Nice cover up there. Backs off, decides not to risk it. I can understand that. We also finally got weapon racks up there for 4S. And at this rate, he's starting to look like he's going to go for the Pershing. Like, he's flooding fuel and manpower. So I'm kind of getting the impression he might be stalling up for the Pershing. Now feeling quite confident of his expense runner. We shall of course see he needs to be reminded that no confidence is a slow and insidious killer. Centre victory point, eastern field victory point grab. Western centre one is being grabbed here by 4's men. Panzer IV there with 1 kill. Machine they're holding them back. He still should extend more pressure on the left flank. I do feel like expense runner is suffering from a bit of tunnel vision in the right side. I can understand it to a degree, but even then, I feel like he is missing some opportunity, but not say just sending in some Osttruppen to sneak in on the field point. There we go, 16-minute mark. 4S commits to heavy cavalry, goes for 5th caliber machine gun. At this rate, it was very much expected. Could go some Rangers, could go for combined arms, but we're definitely going to be seeing a Pershing from him in a few minutes. Like, he's, at this rate, he's going to be there in terms like, resources. Osttruppen was the major. Going for the centre victory point. Osttruppen down to 3 men. Panzer gets a shot in. McLaren to hit. Artillery fire landed. Sherman takes hit. Panzer IV shoots, misses. Building collapsed as the major calls an artillery strike there. Panzer VI in the centre victory point. We've got 454 to 383. Expense runners does have the victory point to 4S. That is probably his only minor advantage currently on the Americans. Well, technically, also has a larger force, but as you might notice again, a large part of it is Osttruppen, and he's trying to wield them, I think, quite efficient here versus 4S. His forces are now beginning to equip him with BARs, which means they're going to be hurting expense runners Osttruppen even harder. He could go for Stug here very soon. I think that'd be a quite good idea. Of course, like just going to go for a lot of Panzer IVs, which isn't going to be bad either. You need to treat that Panzer squad soon. Panzer IV moving up here. Shoots, gets a good hit in there. 5 kills. Still, I feel like it's enough to present. Oh, got a weapon team. Again, the mortar crew expires here. Looks like expense runner is just going to destroy it. And 4S, of course, is going to try and grab it back. Sniper retreating. 5th kill advancing on the centre. Worth noting, expense runners yet to consider anything like a mortar versus 4S. I definitely benefit from it. 4S getting very, very close to the Pershing. He more or less has the fuel now. He just needs a bit more manpower. Of course, he needs half a command point more. For expense runners, simply require some serious anti-tank firepower. Stug to be a good addition. Rather than charging their Panzerkampfwagenfield here. Casualties piling up for the rifle squad here. Centre victor being seized there. Sniper going to deal with that. Almost getting wiped here on 4S again. Can he get the killing blow in? There we go. BAR left behind as well. Hitler's going to make a run for it, but still, good win there for expense runner. Tactically, that's going to help a bunch, but he's still going to be seeing some trouble from the Pershing. Return there, grabs the BAR, claiming it for freedom, democracy, America. Bazooka team moving ahead there. Moving on the centre there, but there's also moving met with swift machine gun fire here. The sniper's going to have to deal with that. Close to the ace level there on it. Very close, in fact. 427 versus 371. Another Panther for the expensive runner. Down to 2 men. 4S now has the fuel. He has the command point. He just needs the manpower, calling the M26 Pershing heavy tank. Osttruppen in the trench. Still surprised we're not seeing a lot of action. I feel like expendable is really losing opportunity there. He took grab that center victory point, halfway to the east level of the Panzer gun dealer. Very good. Oh, tried to get the sniper through the hedges. Very close shot there, actually, for 4S. Very close. Sherman, the once more dodging a lot of shots, been pulled back. Keep close to victory on that Panzer Kampfwagen 4, and there you go. M26 Pershing heavy tank out for 4S. Freedom. That's going to be quite a challenge there for expendable to deal with this current force composition. Pershing basing forwards here. Unsupported, a bit risky. Fortunately, expendable has not really had the opportunity to lay down any mines here versus forwards, but there you go. He does commit, I think, a bit of a grease mistake here. Pushes too far. Gets Panzerfausted. Needs to get the Panzerfaust in the Sherman head here. But is, I think, hitting expendable runner sufficiently hard. He can't easily deal with this. His pack's being overrun, his other Panzerfaust too slow there. Pack 40 out. Seen with the damage, even with this aggressive dive, Ford is able to pull through because expendable runner just wasn't ready for it. This is huge. He grabs the Pack 40. Panzerfaust moving in there, but the situation looking pretty dire here. Plus, the Sherman is near the Pershing, which actually gets a high rate of fire thanks to the Radionet bonus. Flanking here the Pershing with the Panzerfaust, but I don't think we can have enough firepower to deal with it. Osttruppen moving in there. Panzerfaust there off from the Sherman. Panzerfaust half-health Pershing, still got several hits in it before it's down. Panzer there close to death as well. Osttruppen moving in here. Almost got it, but Panzerfaust, he's trying everything. He's almost got the Pershing. Osttruppen grabbing the Pack 40 right under the nose here. Porters. Panzerfaust down. Panzerfaust gets the Pershing, but there's a Panzerfaust down as well. Almost got the Sherman. Huge, brutal engagement here between Fortress and expendable runner. It's armored. Armageddon. They almost lost everything here. Troops have been forcing healing. He's got another weapon drop. Another Pack 40 ready here. Meanwhile, the other Sherman looks to get away here. Sniper there with 41 kills. Troops have been forcing healing. Machine is going to retreat. Valve's got the big shot to bits, but the sniper got 42 kills. Troops been forcing healing. Still not much going on the west side there, by the way. Sherman being hauled back here. 28 kills, grabbing the MD-34. MD-42, I mean. Grab the center victory point. Grab the fuel and munitions, of course. Maybe rush out Stuki versus 4S. Mortar firing away there. Pack being crewed up. Sniper got a kill there again. 43 kills. We got 408 versus 371. Sherman hold back here. 44 kills. I imagine those Americans are going to be really pissed with that sniper. In fact, here's a fun thing. The Americans executed a lot of Germans they suspected of being snipers, but just really had no proof of, because again, they really hate the sniper. In fact, snipers were generally some of the most hated people on the front line, and if you were caught as a sniper or suspected of a sniper, you usually be shot. Same with flamethrower operators. That's one to talk less about further, but flamethrower operators were also hated. So, like, rules about, not shooting prisoners. There was an unspoken rule that again, if you were a sniper or flamethrower operator, you'd get shot. Little fun fact there. Going to get the other Pack 4 support here. Sherman in again here. Fortress getting very aggressive with it. As he should. Good maybe from some smoke here. That say, of course, need to not to get too aggressive either, but so far it's working out quite. His expendable run position, they were quite ready for it. Pack 4 they opening up. Gets got in the Sherman. Machine routed again. Another hit there. Let's move forward. Machine cleared out. Of course, the problem with upgrading the Panzers, while he did get the Pershing, then it did cost him one of his best tools for dealing with all of the infantry. The Osttruppen again, without cover, and even though their fleet aren't particularly great against infantry. Which is typically, again, with an Osttruppen strategy, why I go for at least 2 Panzers in his squads, at least add in the officer. But Expense Runner doesn't really go for that, apparently, so he's actually in a pretty awkward spot here. Panzerfaust and the Sherman again. That Sherman again has been taking a lot of Panzerfausts. Panzer 1 left Expense Runner called in the cheating force of Expense Runner. We got 376 with 371. In terms of victory points, they're quite close at the moment. But in terms of map control, it's very much all 4S. Ground fuel and munitions. Again, still not really much happening on though there. Fixing the Sherman tank. Americans hard to work with that one. My God, what's all of this red stuff? Oh, that's jam. Jam? Yeah, I had a really big donut. You can get donuts in the front? Yeah, if you know the right people. God damn. Where? Well, I'm not going to tell you. God damn. Anyway, sniper there with 48 kills, continuing ahead here. Panther almost down there for expansion runner. Sherman good to go. Oh, sniper got murdered by the lieutenant. It only took a second there and he just went dead. Now that really hurts expansion runner because again, now he's really relying on the Osttruppen, or reliant on them, and again, you can count on Osttruppen for many things, but not fighting allied upgraded infantry in the late game. Pershing on number 2 almost under for 4S. Expansion runner really needs to extend pressure into the left flank there, and again needs more troops. What probably he needs Panzer Grenadiers without Panzer Rex. So there goes second Pershing Grenadier for 4S and the 6th Armored Division. Panzer Squad about to get wiped out though. Another stinging blow here, I think, to expansion runner. Yup, huge blow there to the Germans. That means one does have the 2-pack 40s, which will somewhat help us with the tanks, of course. He's going to be short on tools with dealing with the infantry. So, certainly quite a chance for expansion runner based on taking that set from the Panther 4. Sherman blazing in once more. Close to the eastland on that one. 34 kills, really hurting expansion runner. Really just delivering the pain there. Pack 40 shoots, misses the Sherman. Austin up in the trench here. Pershing moving ahead. He needs to be careful, of course, the Pack 40s. Around the centre. Pioneers for expansion runner. Austin out, Pershing on and then return. Big push here by 4S, lots of infantry backed up with the Pershing here. Pack 4 gets a helpful hit there, Panther 4 gets another kill. They're off in the trench. Machine gun backing up, people behind coming fire, they got the machine gun there. In fact, both MG34, so it's losses MG42 there to 4S. That's also an MG34. Oh, that's MG42, okay, so maybe they're both MG34s. Jumping down to half health, close to the ace level though. Panther check farms got Panther also they're close to dying, but once more again, the Devil's Own luck saves 4S here. Rascal being suppressed, pushing up an MG34 crew, pushing it back. Expansion runner really been calling in punch. We've got center hold up here. Mortar can be a nice ass for 4S. 7 kills so far. Machine setting up there. Bad setup there for 4S. Could risk losing it. Awesome. They need to retreat before they get utterly annihilated by 4S's Pershing heavy tank. The center being held there by the MG34 there under 4S's command. Panther being fixed up. 10 kills. Close to MG1. Pershing being fixed up once more. And expansion runner going for the Sturm. The Sturmgeschützträger Ausführung G. Finally realizing when it must be done. The question of course is, will it be in time though? I mean, I think there's a big issue. And again, the problem is also like does enough infantry to really work it, because again, the Osttruppen are not really like great infantry to push ahead with, covered by the Stug. So while I do commend him on going for the Stug, I think he also needs some like proper infantry. Like he cannot rely on 2 Osttruppen squads. I mean, again, generally 2 infantry squads, no matter what type, it's going to be insufficient, I think, long term. And then relying on 2 Osttruppen squads from the upgrades, not particularly super sold on his odds. See, I mean, it's not impossible though. I mean, this is expensive runner after all, but I'd say they're a bit slim. MG34 in the trench, we had artillery called in once more by 4 to support the attack, forcing some expensive runners to push units to position. Panther opening up in the raft squad. Scott on the way for 4S for freedom, democracy, and against mobile artillery here versus expensive runner. Sherman charging force back to the Pershing. Osttruppen forced to retreat under withering, relentless, deadly fire from the tanks and infantry. Artillery fire called in by expensive runner got the Veiled Artillery Corps. Panther Force shoots. Right squad being sold apart. Machine gun fire. Pershing taking a lot of hits from the Pack 40s. Silver rain down. Cooks and right squad go down the retreat. And down they go. Down just Lieutenant and Major, actually. Actually taking just Lieutenant. Small win if Expansion Runner, but otherwise I would say his position remains still quite hazardous. Moving forward here for Expansion Runner. He's done his one infantry. 5th kill tank for the Osttruppen. They grab a BAR, which does significantly up their firepower, particularly out in the open. In fact, they might just triple the amount of in fact quadruple the DPS they have when they're not in cover, technically. Making from the north, Lieutenant Trench, a bit of a nasty knot here for Expansion Runner to deal with. Major moving up with the pair of bazookas, close to 2's got Scott and Major firing up there on Expansion Runner's forces. Major with the Panther 4. Panther 4's main gun is out. Stu needs to be put back. Got Lieutenant Fords here. They got 266 versus 360. Fords could soon go for another jam here, I think. Versus Expansion Runner. We've got more Pawnees here for Expansion Runners to help repair stuff. Not bad, but he also really badly needs some Panzer Grenadiers. Mortar takes out the MG crew there in the trench. Another sting blow to Expansion Runner. And I think one it is safe we can hardly afford at this point in time. Artillery raining down here, further disrupting anything Expansion Runner do. Shed collapses on itself. And Shams on the way there for 4S, for freedom, democracy. Ready to beat those krauts back to hell. Berlin, sir. Whatever. Awesome, there was a Lieutenant. Actually got cover so he can do some damage, but close to being wiped out there. And there you go, he lost the Osttruppen, but there you go, managed to grab it again. Close to almost losing the Osttruppen squad to incoming artillery fire. They do heavily damaged. Almost knocked out, in fact. Change some hits from the Pack 40. We got 242 versus 360. Switching for Expansion Runner, I think it's actually falling apart. And there you go, lost his remaining machine gun. Meaning he's down to just one Osttruppen squad. There you go, Expansion Runner drops out. A loss here for Germany, a victory for America, freedom, democracy. A brutal fight here with some good back and forth action. And then I feel like Expansion Runner made a few critical errors. In part, again, no pressure on the left flank. There was a strange choice there. But also not enough Panzer Grenadiers. Again, the issue with Osttruppen strategy is just at some point they just don't cut it. Like they scale terribly. Even with a light machine upgrade, Osttruppen do not scale well, and they won't be able to do all the roles you need to. And that was the issue. You needed more Panzer Grenadiers, at least the officers, to really make this strategy work. So I think there was an issue there for Expansion Runner, which I think rather gave Forrest more advantage than he needed to as the match went on. I think had he made some improvements there, I think his chance was much closer. But even then, he was at times close, but ultimately couldn't quite pull through there versus Forrest. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I've learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, don't tell enemies. This is Pro Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.